And we still commemorate that fact by the bright red Nat aircraft that you can see on permanent display here just in front of the air traffic control tower.
It's taking a minute because they're blue.
So that was red one, getting the lights on, the smoke switches on, and the engine powered up. As we just wait for takeoff clearance for the Red Arrows 2011 team here at Kemble. So off come the brakes for the one and only display by the Red Arrows this year at the Cotswold Air Show. The Air Force, therefore, is very busy operationally, but we're very experienced in that role as well, across all of our aircraft types, and of course, across many of our ground support units, which allow us to go and operate in these far-flung destinations. So it's very important for us to make sure we represent our people when we fly across the UK throughout the summer display season. The aircraft you can see behind us now are in 9 Arrow, which is the formation shape which we start the display with this year. And normally in an air show, I'm able to convince you to look out to the front for what we would normally fly at an air show, which is our crowd rear arrival. However, I'm not going to be able to dupe you like that today, because you'll be tracking the aircraft all the way around to display start. One of the other things that's important for the Red Arrows is to have a charitable role. This year we're targeting the Royal Air Force Association with a charity bike ride at the end of the season. We're going to join forces with the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight and cycle 400 miles from the west coast of Wales to the east coast of England over 4 days, which sounds like a rather daunting undertaking to me, all in an effort to raise money for the RAFA Minutes for Troops campaign, which increases the amount of telephone minutes they have to talk to their loved ones back at home when they're serving overseas on operations. We'd be really grateful for your support, and so would the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. And if you'd like to support us in that charitable fundraising exercise, please visit the Red Arrows PR team, who are here with a Static Hawk aircraft and also with their tent. And they'd love to see you, and where you can also find out a lot more about the team. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, behind us you can see the aircraft running in towards us in a 9 Arrow formation as we set up here for the display at the beautiful Cotswold Air Show. So, ladies and gentlemen, here they are, they're the 2011 Red Arrows. So the team this year then is led by the aircraft at the front, piloted by squadron leader Ben Murphy. We know him as Baz, and he's his 5th year with the team this year. This is his 2nd as team leader. As far as we're aware, he's the longest consecutive serving pilot on the team. Ray Hanna, back in the mid-60s, served 4 years as team leader. In fact, he possibly did 5 years on the team as well, because he spent his first year as Red 2. So Baz is matching Ray Hanna, very famous former Red Arrow, in his time served on the team. This is Diamond 9 formation. Now, Ben went to Loughborough Grammar School and the University of Newcastle, where he studied for a degree in geography, and then served flying the Harrier GR7 on several operational tours, actually, out in Afghanistan. So as we start the display, the very famous Red Arrows Diamond 9. fan base today, Ben's modifying the display to fly our rolling show. So the next manoeuvre will be a big barrel roll. Gives me time as they run outbound just to tell you that Ben not only is a skilled and capable pilot, of course, but he's a very keen runner and a pretty decent kite surfer. And our spring training, which takes place in RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus, allowed him the opportunity to make the most of the kite surfing beaches available in Cyprus. He wasn't looking too bad by the time we left either. Okay, this is Big Vixen formation, one of my favourite formation shapes. It's a wide formation, and wide formations are difficult for the pilots on the extremities to fly. On the far left wingtip of Big Vixen then, the highest man as we look at them now is Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Zane Sennett, another of the team's Harrier pilots and one of the third-year pilots on the team. On that left wingtip, he's a real job here as Ben sets them up now for the Big Vixen roll.
Ready? Easy. Up. Straight on. Step. Up. Roll.
So the command there, and roll, brings him into this big barrel roll, which reaches about 2,500 feet above us. Zane on the left wingtip there has got lots of rudder in to maintain his position. He's making big power changes, but he's got a lot of pitch all the way through this roll to maintain that left-hand wingtip position. This is why we put the more experienced second and third year pilots into the wider positions in the formation. Now Zane has the privilege of putting the spear through the heart in the second half of the show when we're able to fly it, which obviously limited by weather on some occasions. So he's our Cupid, and we're starting to think that Zane really does believe he is Cupid.
Aboard. Swan. Step. 2. 3.
That's the change to Swan formation the pilots are acknowledging. This is a very wide and long formation as well, and it's generally considered, as I said earlier, that the further away you are in a large formation from the leader, the more challenging the position keeping is. Now just to the right of the neck of the Swan, on the left of the neck as we look at it, is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Chris Lyndon Smith, one of the first year pilots on the team this year. We know him as Smiley. He was born in Kitwe, Zambia, and he grew up in South Africa and Johannesburg, presumably wrestling white rhinos and giraffes in the Kruger National Park. At the moment though, Smiley's making a nice job as they fly past us in Swan. Smiley actually came back to the UK at the age of 10. And he went to Old Swinford Hospital School in Stourbridge, and then later on Wyndham College in Norfolk before joining the Royal Air Force, where he went on to fly the Tornado GR4. He's actually also an extremely capable kite surfer, just like their boss. In fact, Smiley's a Level 2 British Kite Surfing Association instructor. Most importantly, though, he reckons he's better than the boss, which I think can be quite damaging for his career. Okay, the team now have formed Typhoon formation, named after the Royal Air Force's newest combat aircraft, the Eurofighter Typhoon. So this aircraft represents the future of combat air in the Royal Air Force in the near term, and in the years to come it'll be joined by the Joint Strike Fighter. So this is Typhoon. Now the right wingtip of our Typhoon is provided by Red 4, Flight Lieutenant John Egging. We know him as Eggman. Another of the team's Harrier pilot. He served on Happy 4 Squadron, as it's known, when he served in the Harriers. He's watched today by his father and anticipate their control inputs to start manoeuvring at exactly the same time as he does. And that's how we've managed to maintain a rigid formation shape without any lag, and therefore a bowing in the formation shape. Andy and Margaret, who've come here from Worcester. He's chased down on that side by Red 8, Flight Lieutenant Dave Davis, our Welsh representation on the team. On the right with his smoke on is Red 6, Monty, the synchro leader, chased down by Red 9. Together these 4 aircraft are known as Jippo, and this is the Jippo Pass. Reversal. tails, and on the right, you can see Enid approaching above the two hangars. This is called the Goose. Dave, or Horse, as we know in the team, they complete the Goose. White and blue looks good today against that white sky as they go into a steep climb on the left-hand side. We call this manoeuvre the steep climb. Really should think of a better name than that. That was Dave Davis, Horse, who went through the middle of the formation, a former Tornado F3 pilot and one of the third-year pilots in the team. Of course, the Tornado F3 is now out of service with the Royal Air Force, so I think Horse will be looking for a Typhoon job once he leaves the team at the end of the year. Okay, you're in from the left and the right. Here comes the synchro pair. Red 7, Planky's on the left. Red 6, Monty, the synchro leaders, in from the right. This manoeuvre is called the carousel. There'll be 3 passes in opposition, 100 feet apart. Here comes the first. So Monty with the blue smoke on here flies a predictable pattern here. Red 7 with the red smoke, that's Planky. He has the contract for avoidance in this manoeuvre. There's the second of the passes, slightly more difficult than the first. And of course the third pass, again right in front of us, the most challenging of all 3. Okay, the synchro pair leavers. It's time to look out to the front again to pick up the headlights and the smoke of Enid as they run in towards us for one of my favourite manoeuvres in the second half, actually. Very shortly you'll see Red 1 pull up and barrel roll round the formation. There he is, just above the trees. And as you look head on at this, his smoke trail makes the mathematical symbol for infinity. So we call this the infinity break.
Break, break, go.